Hi everyone. Have you ever heard someone say, an attacker can see everything you're doing on the network? They're usually talking about a man-in-the-middle attack. But what does that actually mean? A man-in-the-middle attack, or MITM, is a network attack where an attacker secretly places themselves between a victim and the network. Instead of your traffic going directly to the router or the website you're trying to access, it passes through the attacker's machine first. The attacker simply acts as the middleman, forwarding the traffic so everything appears to work normally. Now, how does the attacker get into the middle? One common technique is called ARP spoofing. Without getting too technical, ARP is the protocol that helps devices on a local network find each other. By sending fake ARP messages, an attacker can convince the victim's device that they're actually the router. Once that happens, the victim starts sending network traffic to the attacker instead of directly to the router. But does that mean the attacker can see all of your passwords and personal data? Not necessarily. That depends on whether the traffic is using HTTP or HTTPS. HTTP sends information without encryption, while HTTPS encrypts the communication, making it much harder for someone in the middle to understand what's being transmitted. To demonstrate all of this, we'll be using Bettercap. Bettercap is a powerful network security tool used by penetration testers and security researchers to analyze networks. Let's open Bettercap and see how a man-in-the-middle attack actually works. Make sure Bettercap is installed on your Kali Linux machine. After that, connect to the same network as your target device. In this demonstration, I'm using my own Wi-Fi network and my own mobile phone as the target. Since I'm running Kali inside VMware, I'm using a TP-Link TL-WN722 and Wi-Fi adapter pass-through to the virtual machine. Once connected, let's verify that the adapter is working correctly. Now it's time to launch Bettercap. After starting Bettercap, I'll first run the help command. This displays the available modules and commands. For this demonstration, we'll mainly be using net.probe, net.show, arp.spoof, and net.sniff. Let's begin with net.probe. This command actively probes the local network and discovers live devices connected to it. After a few seconds, Bettercap starts identifying hosts on the network. Next, we'll run net.show. This displays a table containing the discovered devices, including their IP addresses, MAC addresses, vendor information, and host names if they're available. As you can see, my router and my target mobile phone are both listed. Network. Before starting the attack, I'll enable arp.spoof.fullduplex by setting it to true. This tells Bettercap to spoof both the victim and the router, allowing traffic to flow in both directions so the victim's internet connection continues to work normally during the demonstration. Next, I'll specify the target using arp.spoof.targets and enter the IP address of my Xiaomi phone. With the target configured, I'll start the attack using arp.spoof forged ARP replies, causing the victim and the router to associate each other's IP addresses with my machine. This places my system between the victim and the router, allowing the traffic to pass through it. Now I'll start net.sniff. The net.sniff module captures and displays supported network traffic passing through the machine. Depending on the type of traffic, Bettercap can identify useful information as it flows across the network. To demonstrate this, I'm opening a website on my target phone that intentionally uses HTTP instead of HTTPS. This is a testing website created for demonstrations like this. I'll enter a sample username and password and press login. Because the website is using HTTP, the credentials are transmitted in plain text. Since the traffic is passing through my machine as part of this authorized lab demonstration, Bettercap is able to display the HTTP request containing the submitted username and password before forwarding the request to the web server. This is a practical example of how a man-in-the-middle attack can expose unencrypted network traffic. To look at the same traffic in more detail, let's open Wireshark. I'll select the WLAN 0 interface that Bettercap is using and start capturing packets. Once the capture begins, I'll type HTTP into the display filter and press enter. This filters the capture so that only HTTP packets are shown. Here you can see the HTTP post request generated when I submitted the login form. Expanding the packet reveals the request contents, including the username and password that were sent in plain text. This is exactly why HTTP should never be used for transmitting sensitive information. HTTPS encrypts the communication between your device and the website, making it significantly more difficult for an attacker in the middle to read the transmitted data. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in next video.